Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Amazing Spider-Man issue number 49, legacy number 850. Okay, so in case anybody's curious, just really quick, it's issue number 49 of volume, I don't know, 7, actually I think it's like volume 4 or 5, something like that. But out of all the Spider-Man comic books in the different volumes called Amazing Spider-Man, it's number 850. That doesn't count Web of Spider-Man, Spectacular Spider-Man, Just Spider-Man, Peter Porker, The Amazing Spider-Ham. It doesn't count any of those. So, okay, let's move on. The writer of this book is Nick Spencer. Ryan Oatley and Humberto Ramos and Mark Bagley are the pencils. God, there's a lot of inkers too. Cliff Rathburn, Victor Olazabra, John Dell. The colorists are Mark Fairbairn and Edgar Delgado and David Curiel, with VC's Joe Caramagna doing the letters. The cover art is by Ryan Utley and Nathan Fairbairn, and there are a lot of freaking variant covers. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko are the creators of Spider-Man. Brah. I didn't like this comic book. I know, there's going to be a bunch of people like, whoa, 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 Professor. 50 issues, 49 issues in, and it's the 49th issue that you don't like? Well, don't forget, there's also a couple little ancillary issues here and there, which are actually kind of somewhat mandatory, sometimes not mandatory to get. But in this particular case, no, I didn't like this. I really didn't like this. And that's the problem when you do this really big build-up for something, and it turns out that it doesn't really satisfy what you were doing. It doesn't satisfy me in what you let out. Like, there should have been a lot more. And I knew it wasn't going to be the final ultimate conclusion, but no, this should have been a lot more of a conclusion than just, you know, you're telling us that Green Goblin's coming back and then this is all that happens? Seriously? This? That's it? And with the Sin Eater, so he became the Juggernaut. Look, I'm working my butt off in an accelerated as hell advanced IRCC class, meaning I'm doing immigration consultation up here in Canada. It's a lot of freaking work, this program. And yeah, like I just haven't had the time to get to all of the comic books. That I think I only reviewed 3 comic books last week. There's a lot more I wanted to do, but I only got to review 3 comic books. Think about that. It means I'm a little busy, right? So anyway, when The Sins of Norman Osborn came out, I was just like, I really do want to read it. I have a feeling it's just not going to be about it's going to be like the Sin Eater thing, where it's like it's not mandatory to read, it's just nice to read. No, it was actually mandatory to read. Otherwise, you see that Spider-Man in issue number 48 shows up and is like, "Hi, Norman, what's up? Let's, go kick some butt." And then it turns out that they're both standing right next to each other, and Juggernaut's laying on the ground with a hole in his chest somehow. And it's like, what in the hell is happening here, bruh? Yeah, I didn't get this. So I had to go back and look up some reviews for oh my god, The Sins of Norman Osborn. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? A lot happened in there. So I didn't read entirely. I skimmed through the Sins of Norman Osborn because I actually own the copy. And I'm just like, no, this was actually mandatory. If this was so mandatory, why wasn't it in the regular story? I don't get it. Why wasn't that issue? I don't understand why they did this. I mean, this book was thick enough. What was the cover price of this? I never look at the price of my comics. Ooh, yep, $10 comic book. And the backup stories in here were mostly unimportant. I mean, he meets Sterling for the first time. That was nice. I like Sterling, Miles Morales, enemy, friend, lover type character. So, Pete meeting Sterling, that was actually really nice. But I mean, there was like, 4 pages? I mean, you could have added the Juggernaut story in here, the part where, because like it was almost inconsequential. I mean, I talked about how certain characters, including Juggernaut, are just punked out for the sake of making someone look tough. Okay, so this character, the Sin Eater, which we don't even know if it's the actual original Sin Eater or what the hell's going on with them, one shotgun blast takes him down. Now, I'm not entirely upset at that because it is magic, after all. It seems to be some kind of magic, and yeah, Juggernaut doesn't have any protection whatsoever against magic. Like, none. That's the one thing that could penetrate his force field, his armor, his thick skin, all that stuff. He has no defense against magic, you know? So I'm good with this. But at the same time, it's like Juggernaut on one page, and on the next page, yeah, he's laying on the ground with a hole in his chest. Wait, what? It can't be that simple, can it? And then anyway, so just the idea, there's so much that I missed by not reading a book that is apparently crucial to the story and yet not in the actual title. I'm perplexed why that would happen. Why wouldn't you just combine that book with this book? It didn't make sense to me. So I really hate when that happens, and I was just talking about how Batman's been doing that for a while, and a bunch of other books have been doing that, and I hate it. And now all of a sudden you got Justice League and the Dark Knight, the death metal stuff that they got going on currently. Like, I hate that. And I just complimented this book for not doing that, and all of a sudden they do it. Nah, I'm going to stick with consistency on this one. Really disappointed that they did that. More than that, Juggernaut's head isn't the shape of his freaking helmet, right? Like, underneath that helmet, he's got a skull cap on for his regularly shaped head. So he's a little thicker than the rest of us, but come on, man. Like, Sin Eater's head is like it was stuffed inside the freaking shell. Come on, bro. What am I looking at here? And then having the 3 different art teams on 3 different parts of the book, just when you get used to the art, all of a sudden it's like it switches artists. And it really feels like it's a whole new story, but it's not. And you have to kind of reinvest yourself in the story again. And that happened that happened twice. I'm reading a story, boom, I'm invested in this, and then all of a sudden, especially with the problems and everything, and all of a sudden, oh, there's a new story? What's going on? Wait, are they in the sewer? What? Oh, this is taking place with the same... They don't look like they're beaten up. They just got knocked out by the Juggernaut, but they're up and they're just, hey, no blood on their face. Okay, fine, so let's just start reading this again. Boom, 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 all of a sudden, wait, is this a new part? What's going on in this book right now? Oh, this is just a continuation? But they keep changing the art team. This was a really sorry excuse of a comic book, especially for a Spider-Man comic book of all things. It's funny. Marvel tries to do a big deal kind of story and just completely, yuck foo, man. What is this? Wow. Yeah, I'm extremely disappointed in this comic book. Up, sideways, down, all around, and all the way through. Every way I look at this book, it's just so disappointing. Yeah, I didn't enjoy this at all. I'm really sad that they just kind of threw this together willy-nilly. I guess that's the proper term for it. There's so much more they could have done here. It's like you're going to make a big deal about it being an 850 special issue, but next issue is issue number 50, which is in and of itself a special kind of deal too, isn't it? No, it's just, whatever. Here's another special issue. I'm done with your special issues. Can we just sell regular comic books from now on? I was really enjoying Spencer's run on this, and then this issue happened. Literally, go back and look. I'm pretty sure this is the first negative review I'm giving for Spencer's run on Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man. Highly disappointing, especially for a book like this. A $10 book, too. So that's going to hurt a lot of people's wallets just to get a story that feels entirely incomplete and has a whole lot of the exact same thing being said over and over again. Pete, basically, we decided that we're going to intervene, but we're going to trust you because Gwen trusts you. Even though we're not sure if that's the right Gwen that would do the trust and it would be the same thing. And then she's going to say it like 2 more times. And at the end, she's going to regret doing it in the first place. And controversial decisions will be made. I've read better Betty Boop comics than this. That's not to shame Betty Boop, but to point out this was not a good book. It was simply not a good issue at all. Just $10. What, a dozen variant covers? You're just trying to make money off of this, and you're not even trying to sell a good book. Honestly, I don't think this is Spencer's fault. I think these guys just need to get off of his back. They need to just shut up. Whoever's in charge of this. And if Spencer's at fault for this, well then, dude, learn from this. Seriously. Because this was horrible. The more I think about it, the more upset I am with it. It is what it is, man. But, how hard is it to just stop with all the stupid gimmicks? Just make good comics. I don't think that's too much to ask. Keep your prices consistent. Keep your pages consistent. Keep everything consistent. And we'll read your comic books. But don't do stuff like this. Man, this gimmick just wrecked it for me. I got to go and read an ancillary comic book that's completely a part of the series, but it's not actually in there. Which means what for my collection from now on? When I'm going to be putting all my Amazing Spider-Mans, issue number 46, issue number 47, issue number 48, Sins of Norman Osborne, issue number 49. Why are you doing this to me? Us. Epic fail. Guys, like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.